welcome to another episode of the Comedy Corral. I'm Cowboy Ken alongside my co-host Mr. Ed, where we attempt to bring you funny filtered
from life's crowd.
Ed, do you ever feel like you are vertically challenged?
Nope, I fit in my bed just fine.
Well, that's nice to know. But lying in your bed would be horizontal, not vertical.
Oh, okay then yes, at times I do feel short in the adult male world.
Who said you were an adult?
My driver's license.
Wow. How do you have children?
Well, I met this girl in the cornfield and she really liked me, so we...
Stop that story right there. I'm quite certain that if your kids are watching this show, they will not want their friends to know the details of that story.
How would you know that?
Single dad. My kids would be embarrassed if I stood near them in the mall, let alone called their name.
Oh yeah, I forgot you were grandpa.
Hey, while true, those comments will not get you invited to Christmas dinner.
My day is looking up already.
I have been short my entire life, and I have a theory as to why.
Oh, this should be interesting.
I'm glad to hear you say that, because I have not done the necessary research to factually base this theory, but I think you will find my theory of nothing else interesting.
Great.
You don't sound enthused.
Oh yeah, I'm enthused. About as enthused as getting it.
What was that?
Oh no.
I find it embarrassing, because when I was in the 12th grade, a third grader was taller than I was.
I know third graders that are taller than you now.
Shut up, Ed.
Oh, I'm just saying.
Notwithstanding the third grader, you have got these massive human beings wearing size 23 shoes.
Who on earth wears a size 23 shoe?
Shaquille O'Neal. He's 7'1" and weighs 324 pounds.
You're making that up.
No, I'm not. You can ask him.
He's here?
No, he's not here, Ed. Why? On God's green earth, would a superstar like Shaq want to meet a cowboy and a farmer?
You're not a cowboy, remember?
Ed, stay focused.
Why are you embarrassed about your height? I'm fine with mine.
It's not fair, especially when your stature is 5'7" tall and 160 pounds.
Not to mention a lie.
I do not lie, Ed. I always tell the truth, and I taught my kids to always tell the truth.
160 pounds, really?
Back then, when I was in the 12th grade, yes.
Oh, okay. Well, you have adopted about 25 more pounds since then.
Would you be quiet? They don't need to know that.
Why, sure they do. That Shaq you've been talking about has his height and weight out there for everybody to see.
He is famous and well known. We are not.
Be proud of who you are.
I am proud of who I am. I'm just not sure I want it out there for the whole world to know. I'm starting to feel ill.
A cowboy once told me laughter is the best medicine, so carry on, cowboy.
Okay. Well, that size is not bad if you're a DJ at a midget wrestling match. But it's not great for almost everything else.
Wait, you're a DJ, so that midget wrestling thing is not just a line. You actually were a DJ at a midget wrestling match?
Shut up, Ed. It was the lowest point of my DJ career.
You can say that again.
But do you realize how hard it is to play sports when the biggest part of your body is your heart, and the smallest guy in the roster other than you is 6'2" and 280 pounds?
I never played sports. I was always too small.
That was my point, Gilligan.
Where? I love that show.
Of course you did. Besides, all of those characters have passed.
Past what?
Oh, dear Lord. Can I get back to the show, please?
I'm not stopping you.
Anyway, every time I would go to a team for tryouts, the guys would take turns bench pressing me for fun. I have a unique understanding of what a dumbbell feels like.
I don't get it.
Why would you?
Hey, that's mean.
No, I didn't mean it like that. I just meant you would not get that statement because you have never been bench pressed before.
I thought you were referring to me as a dumbbell.
No, Ed, you took it wrong. That is why I explained stuff so much. It is not because I think less of the person, but I want them to receive what I say in the context that I mean it in.
I never realized that about you before. I always thought you were talking down to me.
Well, I am. But for the purposes of entertainment. Nothing more.
Oh, well then carry on, Daredevil.
I am not a dare. Okay. I get it. Anyway, it's a sad, sad day when you take your kids to Walt Disney World and you have to stand outside the ride and watch your kids having a good time because you, the parent, wasn't tall enough to ride the ride.
What ride?
What?
Disney World? What ride was it?
I don't remember, Ed. My kids are in their 30s now.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You were a grandpa. I'm guessing it was the It's a Small, Small World ride?
Anyway, this plague has followed me my entire life.
Oh my God, what do you have?
My embarrassment was never more pronounced than it was with my first job with an actual company that had a chain of stores all throughout the Southeast. It was also my first time meeting with FICA and Medicare and all those other people that seemed to get as much of my money I earned as I did.
Wait, who is FICA and Medicare and all those other people?
It's Uncle Sam.
I don't have an uncle named Sam.
Yes, you do. It's the federal government. Everybody has the same uncle.
That's it. I'm buying you a hearing aid.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
What does Pete have to do with this?
While this was not my first time working, it was my first time with a company that required a name tag, dress code, and had policies and procedures.
What job was that?
I was hired on as a bag boy at a grocery store and quickly became quite good at it.
How do you get good at being a bag boy, and why would you want to tell anybody about it?
Hey now, I have always taken pride in my work.
Bagging groceries is not what I call work. Growing them is.
However, at this stage in my life, I was only 4'11" tall and had a 26-inch waist.
I've been there.
Did you have to shop in the boys section for clothing?
Yes, still do. Do you know how hard it is to find the overalls in kids' sizes?
No, I cannot say that I do. I always had to shop in the boys' husky section because the starting size for men's jeans was 28 inches.
I was never husky.
Neither was I, Ed. That is just the section I had to shop in to find clothes that fit.
Keep telling yourself that.
Did parents look at you like you were a pedophile because you were shopping for clothes for yourself in the children's section?
My parents still do.
Anyway, I digress. Now, as a bag boy, part of my uniform was that I was required to wear an apron.
Did you cook too?
No, Ed, I had to wear an apron for the job as a bag boy. And anyone whom has worn an apron knows that they say one size fits all, but that's a lie.
Why is that a lie?
Because the apron was 4'10" long and I was 4'11" tall. So the darn thing looked like a dress on me. The string on this thing had to be at least 36 inches long because it wrapped around me twice and would tie in the back.
Who did you get to tie your apron for you every day?
No one, Ed. I did it myself.
I cannot tie anything I cannot see.
Wow. Not to mention, my walk in this thing looked like what you would see at a fashion show by a runway model.
You're a fashion model too?
No, I'm not a fashion model. Now who has hearing trouble? During my time as a bag boy, I had become quite good at my job, developing a small client base that would request me to bag their groceries and carry them out to their car on a regular basis.
Why didn't you use a card?
I did use a cart, Ed. One Saturday afternoon, it was raining off and on.
I hate when that happens.
Good to know, Ed. Anyway, sometimes the rain was heavy, and other times it was light, but usually brief. It was just one of those dreary days.
I don't like dreary days. They make me sad.
Okay, Ed, I'll bite. Why do dreary days make you sad?
Well, it was a rainy Tuesday, overcast, just gloomy. Then I saw it up in the sky.
No, not gonna do it, Ed. When you have something to contribute that is not alien related, then you are more than welcome to add to the story.
But
No, on this particular Saturday, I was hustling as usual when one of my regular customers came through the checkout line with her mother.
they let you gamble at work? Nice job.
Hustle is not even close to gamble. Upon performing my bag boy duties, we headed outside to the car. Now, my customer is in her early 50s, so I'm guessing that her mother was in her 70s. As we went outside, it started to sprinkle again.
Was your customer Mother Nature?
No, Ed. We made it to my customer's 80s model Caprice Classic when she told me she was going to put her mother in the car. She tipped me as she usually did and told me that when I was finished putting the groceries in the trunk to tap on the lid twice on the trunk, signaling her it was clear to leave.
How much did she tip you?
I don't remember, Ed.
Tumor acting up again. Poor guy.
For the last time, I don't have a tumor. May I please finish the story?
Just livening things up for the audience.
So what? Are you saying that I'm dull?
I didn't say it, but if the shoe fits.
I did what I was instructed and quickly put her groceries in the trunk. But when I bent down to grab the 10-pound bag of potatoes, I guess I trapped a portion of my apron with the bag, placed the bag in the trunk, shut the lid, tapped twice, signaling it was okay for the customer to leave.
Wait, did you close?
The apron in the trunk? Yes, I did. And as I turned to leave, I realized that I was trapped. Frantically, I tried to untie the apron, but as usual, it was in a knot.
Why would you tie your apron in a knot?
Well, I didn't do it on purpose. It would always end up that way.
I've never met a cowboy that didn't know how to tie a knot. Hello, I'm Mr. Ed.
Now I'm running behind this car, trying everything to free myself from what is certain to be a messy situation in more ways than one.
What did you do?
I'm trying everything possible to escape this potential tragedy. My knees are on the bumper. I'm beating on the trunk lid to get her attention to no avail. This lady made it all the way to the end of the parking lot at the stop sign, where she finally realized that along with her groceries, she had her bag boy in tow. What is so funny?
I'm picturing her getting home with an apron stuck out of her trunk. Poor bag boy. Probably made it a block or two.
Now, as humiliating as that was, her exit from the vehicle was 10 times worse. This lady was laughing so hard, I thought she was going to need medical attention.
Dial 911. Stat.
Oh, shut up, Ed, will you? On the other hand, I was not amused. Turns out, I was beating on her trunk so hard that I left dents in her trunk lid. Trying to offer her money for repairs on that day was less than possible. Not to mention, once she stopped the car and realized I was attached, her mom spit her teeth out on the dash laughing.
Were they false?
No, Ed, they were her real teeth.
Now that is talent.
It took this woman 5 minutes to finally get the key into the slot in the trunk because she could not see the keyhole from laughing so hard. I even think she peed a little.
Now how would you know that?
Because I peed a lot. Unfortunately, it was not raining hard enough to chalk the wet spot up to the rain. Now, what are you laughing about? It's not funny.
I've never met a cowboy that's peed himself while still alive. That makes you infamous.
No, but this does. There was a promotion going on that day at the store with a race car, and one of those idiots had a darn camera. And all of that previous humiliation that I just shared was now immortalized on film.
Oh, please, God, please tell me you have a copy.
Absolutely not, Ed. That was a long time ago. However, this lovely little blooper didn't land me into the company's Hall of Fame, which was supposedly a huge honor to make it into the company's Hall of Fame because it was extremely difficult to do.
Don't you mean Hall of Shame?
I did not share this sentiment due to the fact that I did not accomplish this just once. Oh, no, no, no. I did it twice.
Please, please tell me it's another story like this one. And you're going to share it with me, them?
Stop drooling. I'm thinking about it.
Think wrong.
Why are you all of a sudden interested in my stories? In an earlier episode, you said that the only person that was going to stay tuned long enough to hear my stories is God.
Yeah, but this was good. You can't make this stuff up. Keep going.
All right, calm down. There is another one.
Oh, goody.
Also, while working at this store, it was raining again.
Where was this place in the Amazon?
No, and why on earth would I work in the Amazon?
The women, they are hotties, so I've heard.
Good grief, Ed. Well, as I said, it was raining again, as usual, and a customer asked me if we had a certain brand of baby milk with iron.
Why would you give a baby an iron?
Not an iron, just iron. Ed, you have children. Wow. Okay. I told the customer that I had some in the back, that I would go and get it for her and bring it up to the cash registers, and told her to give me a few minutes.
Why would baby milk be in the back?
Because they had just unloaded a truck earlier that day before I came into work. And when I went into the back room, there were 3 stacks of merchandise piled on top of another, about 9 to 10 feet tall.
Why were the groceries piled so high?
I cannot answer that, Ed. But on one of the stacks, I saw the product that I was looking for about 6 foot up on a 9-foot stack.
But you're not 6 foot tall.
I know that, Ed. But I decided that I didn't have enough time to off-stack 3 foot of groceries off the pile to get the product that I needed.
What did you do?
I decided to try to slide the product out of the middle of the stack, milk crate, stood on top of it, and began to slowly slide the case of milk towards me. Then push the items on top back, then slide the case towards me a little bit farther, and push the items on top back, until the product I needed got close enough that I could snatch it out of the stack without creating a mess.
Oh, I know that game. Pick up sticks.
No, Ed, this was more like Jenga.
Well, did it work?
Yes, it did, but what I didn't know was that the stockers were notorious for placing damaged products on top of the piles of groceries that were unloaded.
Why would they do that?
Again, a question I cannot answer, Ed.
What was damaged on your pile?
How do you know there was?
Really? It's you. This wouldn't be a story if nothing was on top of the pile.
Okay, yes. Someone had placed a broken, open 10-pound bag of flour on top of this pile. And when I successfully removed the case of milk from the stack, the bag of flour fell and landed square on top of my head. Almost knocked me out.
Knocked out by flour.
I was not knocked out, but now I'm covered from head to toe in flour.
Of all the things you get, flour.
Shut up, Ed. Anyway, extremely furious at my current situation, I began to carry the case of milk up towards the front of the store, emitting a cloud of smoke from me as if I was on fire.
Smoky!
You're not helping, Ed. This is very embarrassing.
Yes, but it's also very funny.
Glad you can find funny in my misery.
No, we're in Missouri.
Anyway, I started down the back aisle, and when I walked past aisle 9, a little boy saw me and said, "Hey Mom, look, it's the Pillsbury Doughboy." Not funny, Ed.
Not true. We can't breathe.
As I approached the front of the store, everybody, and I mean everybody, stops what they're doing and begins to laugh. Cashiers, customers, managers.
Co-host,
Would you stop, please? It's not that funny.
that is where you're wrong. It is not just funny, it's hilarious.
I walk over to the register where the customer that requested the milk is standing and set the case on the counter.
Did you bag her groceries?
Shut up, Ed. No, I did not. I walked over to my store manager, whom had his hand over his mouth, trying to contain his laughter, and said, Mr. Van, would you mind if I clocked out and excluded myself for the rest of my shift?
What did he say?
Once he stopped laughing long enough, he looked at me and said, sure, go ahead, then continued laughing uncontrollably. Yes, my manager was laughing like that. The bad part was, when I got outside, the rain mixed with the flour and caused a sticky, gooey paste.
What time of day was this?
That doesn't matter, Ed. When I went to my car and turned on the heater and headed home, because the rain was incredibly cold and I was freezing.
Were you done?
What? What do you mean, was I done?
You, since you were covered in dough and the heat from the car, I just figured by the time you got home, you would be a can of bun.
That is not funny at all, Ed.
Tell them that. I'm not buying it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that sound means it's time for the Manure Minute segment of the show. So, Mr. Ed, what do you have for us this week?
It came through our YouTube channel, just says Yak Yak. I'm not sure where this person is from or what the email address is.
Yak Yak writes, dream your dream. I thought that was a perfect comment to the show because the motto of Cowboy Ken Productions is from dream to screen. So, to Yak Yak and everyone out there that is watching Comedy Corral, we thank you for allowing us to bring our dream to your screen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for episode of the Comedy Corral. And remember, when life gets crappy, find the funny.
And be happy.